Sheriff, and as the Sheriff mentioned, I think we're pleased and blessed to have Teresa Woolson here, who's the mother of Victor Woolson, who died from injuries sustained while using synthetic drugs. Also with Teresa, Sarah Gauger, daughter of Teresa and sister of Victor, and Bonnie Caza, sister of Teresa and of Victor. Right? Could you please come up and tell us yours?
My brother Victor was born on July 19th, 1993. I was 8.5 years old. Starting that day, it was all about firsts. First time he smiled, held a bottle, stood, took a step, went to school. He stayed at camp for the first time. He learned to swim. He started making lifelong friendships. He had a lot of goals. I will never forget the day that he told me that he wanted to go to school for criminal justice. He had been in junior ROTC for 4 years, and I was so proud. Or the time that he was late night texting me about a girl he liked. All normal teenage stuff. He graduated with an advanced Regents diploma and attended Cayuga Community College. At some point, after enrolling, everything changed. He made a very poor choice to experiment with a drug that he found was sold in a store here in Oswego County. It's legal, he said. Everybody's doing it, he said, and I'm being responsible about it. He wasn't driving while under the influence, and he was only doing what he, quote, could handle. He wasn't on the streets talking to drug dealers, looking for his next fix. He was just walking into a store, showing he was of age, and buying synthetic marijuana off the shelf here in this county. One day in March of 2012, he overdosed, at least that's how I would explain it, and snapped. There was a nationwide search out for him. His face was on the news, and I spent hours along with many other family and friends trying to locate him. He was found in Oneonta County, showing signs of schizophrenia, violent tendencies, and an emotional mess. The state police brought him to a hospital, and he was admitted where he could basically detox. There was nothing more they could do, and I saw him cry for the first time in years. This was not the brother that I grew up with, and I knew he was in there somewhere, but I was worried that he would never be himself again. He couldn't comprehend why we were all there rushing to his side and so worried about him. He kept saying there was nothing wrong with him. We knew it was a long road from the day he left the hospital. He seemed to be doing much better, since while in the hospital, synthetics were beginning to be banned in our county. The police had raided one of the shops that he used to buy synthetics from and closed it down temporarily. So he was under the assumption that you couldn't buy it legally anymore, which made it that much easier to recover. In early August, his underage friend sent him a text letting him know that he could still get the synthetic marijuana in a store here in Oswego. Bans were in place by the health department, New York State, and federal government at this time. On my mother's birthday, August 9th, he was going to meet up with some friends and go swimming in the lake, which was something that he and his friends had done several times before. He did go swimming after stopping and purchasing the synthetic marijuana called Avalanche in a store in Oswego and smoked it with a friend. He was later pulled out of the water as a lifeless body. The EMT team worked diligently on him at the scene, but he never took another breath on his own. He never smiled again, and he never got to say goodbye. I wholeheartedly believe that this new bill has a strong potential of helping prevent this from happening to someone else's family. I have 2 young children myself, and as a mother, I'm worried about what these sick people are going to think of next. This new bill makes punishments for selling to anyone more harsh, but especially harsh for selling it to someone under 18. This bill covers the current synthetics and the future ones which mimic the effects of the body. It covers the sale, manufacture, and possession, and it gives our law enforcement a lot more help. I know from speaking to many law enforcement myself, they feel that their hands are tied and that it's not black and white enough. This changes that. I fully support this, and I hope many others will too. Let's not give these smoke shop owners, or anyone else the chance to make money on something so deadly. And you may ask, won't it go underground like all the other drugs deemed illegal? Yes, it probably will. But it will limit the access, and it won't be on some store shelf giving a false sense that it's safe, and hopefully it will save lives.
Well said. Teresa, would you say some words?
I want to thank everyone for being here. My son is buried just over those trees. And I'm here today to help save lives and families from the tragedy that we witnessed. I want to point out that these synthetics are not drugs like cocaine and heroin. poisons, random toxic chemicals mixed together, masquerading as incense and deodorant, and very dangerous. Seizures, heart attacks, kidney failure are some of the more reported conditions I've recently read about. Please be aware of the packages, signs and symptoms, the addictive nature, and the effects of synthetics, and please call 911 if you suspect anyone has used these substances. My son's initials are VOW, and I vow to continue this war on the synthetic poisons for as long as it takes to pass effective state legislation into law. I want to urge your help and support. There are steps that you can each take today to help, and my sister Bonnie will outline a few of these now. Thank you. Thank you. We're here today to spread the word about this new legislation just introduced. In order to get new laws in place, this legislation must pass both the Assembly and the Senate, then be signed by the Governor. Ways you can help include phone calls and letters to the Assembly and Senate members urging their support of this bill. This bill is presently in the Health Committee of both houses, so please contact the members of both health committees first. All members' information can be found on the state's website, and we've provided that information along with the letter and email addresses of the committee members. Please include your name and address on all correspondence. The bill is exactly the same in both houses, but each one has a specific bill number. The passage of this legislation is vital for the safety and well-being of our entire state. Please take action on this. The problem of synthetic poisons being sold in New York will not go away without your support. These poisons affect not only the lives of those using them, but friends, families, and entire communities. These new laws will help minimize the damage and destructions synthetics are causing in this state. I urge you to please join us in this war. Updates, contact information, and more ways to help can be found on the Facebook group Standing Against Synthetic Drugs Bath Salts. Thank you.
Thank you.